Alright, so today definitely happened, but before I get into that, as always, I need to go in and open chat, because chat's extra important tonight. And pop out and close the tab. Because we're popping the tab on this one in a big way come midnight. Oh yes. And the link is in the description if you want to pick it up, by the way. But without further ado, I finished the final manuscript pass at 9 p.m., 3 hours before the launch. 3 after 21 years of building this world in my head. That's how close it came down to the wire. No clean countdown, no calm final read-through with coffee in my hand. Just me, the clock, and a deadline that didn't give a fuck about how I felt about it. And then, because apparently the universe wasn't done with me yet, I spent the last time of that stretch fighting a website dashboard instead of watching my own launch happen. Menus that led nowhere, a label that meant nothing useful, a contract that turned out to be an email plan wearing a website's name tag. None of it touched the actual book. Try telling that to my nervous system at 11 p.m. Here's the thing though, none of that mess touched the book. The last 3 days will be live at midnight. 21 years of Jistoa fermenting in my head. The ruins, the krakens, Zachary walking the promenade beside his father made of iron and silence. All of that will be out there come midnight. Real, on a page nobody can take back down. I didn't get the clean victory lap I pictured. Sure, I got the messy one. Still wired, still a little pissed off, completely running on fumes, and the book made it out anyway. That's the actual story about how this got built. Not a straight line. A grind that almost didn't make it and then did. And this is just book one. There's a whole saga left. More books, the game, the art, the music. I'm always cooking over here. Even when the kitchen's on fire tonight. Go read it. Oh, but yeah. It's open and nobody's in chat yet. Not surprised, I'm sure the vast majority are sleeping. But I'll be here until the midnight launch with 11 minutes to go. Shrink this down, turn on screen capture. And now, what the fuck? Oh, of course. Alright. Yeah, here we've got the itch.io page. The last 3 days, the Sevendust Saga Book 1, with hand-painted art by Trawlix, and of course, my authorial initials. And, of course, a devlog saying about the same thing I did at the beginning of this stream. But it's about the last 3 days of a 10-year-old boy's childhood. This being the opening salvo of what I've begun to call the Sevendust Saga. And the genres: dark fantasy, fantasy, science fiction, and scrap punk. Among many others. I don't just go with one genre and try to pigeonhole myself into it. I don't work that way. But live at midnight, 21 years in the making. This is happening. The last 3 days launches full throttle at midnight tonight. And I finished the manuscript exactly. See? I started building this world, Jistoa, back in 2005. Different drafts, different false starts, More years than I expected when I began. Somewhere along the way, it stopped being a side project and became something closer to a record of who I actually am. Book 1 is the first piece of that record anyone outside of my own head gets to see. The last stretch wasn't smooth. At one point, I ran a full AI revision pass on the manuscript, thinking it would speed things up. It caught real errors, continuity slips, typos, kinds of things that genuinely needed fixing, but also flattened the voice right the fuck out of every character. So I went back to my original drafts, kept only the catches that were real, and threw the rest in the garbage bin of history. Everything you're about to read is my handwritten word. Then life got loud and the clock got short. I finished the final pass. But the midnight launch is coming with a vengeance. So go grab it when it's time if you want. And this is only the beginning. Book 1 is a much bigger piece of a saga that is at this moment a puzzle to the public. And there's a lot more behind it, more books, pixel art, the eventual game, the music, and there's always something cooking over here. See you on the other side of midnight. But I will say, my next project, I'm announcing it here. It won't be a big thingy. It'll actually be a companion piece to the book. I call it Star Set. It'll be a series of short stories showing Zachary's development as Element to become the person he is in Book 2, which I'm calling Ashes and Echoes. And I already have the bones ready to go. Shouldn't take more than a week. But as we move on back to the main page. Yeah. Star Rise over the planet Jistoa is a merciless event that feels like a new day. It feels less like a new day and more like a wound that refused to heal overnight. In the small fishing town of Tetala, the red dwarf parent star Doriel pours a thick molten glow over the salt-worn rooftops and alleyways cobbled together from whatever trash happened to wash up on the beach. It's a place of sea-bleached concrete and plastic panels slapped onto scarred surfaces where the people carry their traumas on their sleeves and the tourism industry lies to outsiders about the place being quaint. In reality, it's a stubborn dump of a city where the smell of ozone and melted plastic fills the air and the deep azure sea is occupied by krakens the size of school buses and 9-foot-long carnivorous bugs. Zachary Sevendust is only 10 years old, but he's already being raised in the art of warfare. He walks the promenade in a leather jacket patched with Kevlar squares and heavy boots, trying his best to match the stride of a father who's effectively a living bulwark of iron and silence. Cyrus Sevendust is a seasoned monster hunter known as Death's Shadow, a man who carries a 3-foot-long katana named Baneslayer and moves with a precision that suggests he never truly trusts the ground to stay solid under his feet. As they leave the flickering neon of the arcades and the noise of the docks behind to head toward the ruins in the southeast, the atmosphere begins to thicken with the kind of tension that makes a child's heart pound against his ribs. Cyrus is a walking contradiction of scars and secrets who has seen mass graves and government corruption that the evening news wouldn't dare to cover. Zachary wants to believe in the safety of his father's shadow. But on Jistoa, the peace is as thin as the smart glass on a cracked smartphone. This is a journey into the ruins where the past is waiting to burst from the mists, and the only thing more dangerous than the monsters in the woods are the secrets a father keeps hidden under a greasy black trench coat. And this is under the Tales of Jistoa imprint. And it's going live in 6 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. 6 minutes. Let's check in on chat since it's found itself buried. Ah, the ultimate cheese boss. Greetings. Thank you. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, the book will be live here soon if you're still around and you're even interested. Yes, indeed. But as for Climb Hazard Studios, I'll go ahead and show you all that. The profile, at least. At Climb Hazard Studios, we don't do safe. We're the can you shook, forgot, and opened anyway. Exploding foam and shards of flavor and chaos in your lap. Run by Cal Van Starling, artist, musician, and storytelling lunatic. This is where worlds are born screaming, torn apart, and rebuilt in fire. Every project here has scars, drafts gutted, rewritten, burned down, and raised again until they bleed exactly the way they should. Nothing survives our hands unless it claws its way past our bar, and we raise that bar in the middle of the paragraph just to see if the work can keep up. We're not here to make, quote, content. We're forging novels, games, art, music that want to nest in your skull and haunt you. If you want clean, polished, polite creativity, wrong door. If you want the blast, the bite, and the aftertaste that lingers long after the tab pops, welcome to Climb Hazard Studios. But, yeah, I'm going to use this time, this last minute, to go over some older products. First, Anthem of a Broken Bard. This is a series, you probably heard the songs as a long-time subscriber, a series of songs I wrote, then fed into Suno to perform, and I happened to like the way they played out, so I released an album. Simple as that. And what most people don't know is that you don't even have to pay for it. I did that on purpose. Wait a minute. The music wasn't picking up. All right. And it is now... It is now 11:58 p.m. and 2 minutes until launch. So from here, and that line sounds kind of like Modest Mouse's Fly Trapped in a Jar. In some ways. All right. Yeah. So, with us going into midnight, we sit around the campfire this midnight, and I speak up. I come to tell you a story that should stick with you, provided you aren't already wasted up to your eyeballs. Just get to the story, Cal. The last one still goes around. One man in the homeless camp spoke up with a slur in his voice, and I wasn't one to say no to telling a banger. So I'll begin with the Star Rise. Taking the first chapter begins on Irafala, or Monday, during the month of Awerla, or November, the 16th, at the time of 6:24 p.m. Star Rise over Tetala. During this morning, the moisture in the air made that crimson glow so... Wait. Oh, yeah, I did rewrite that. During this morning, the moisture of the air made that crimson glow so much brighter than usual. The nation of Relamia below felt blanketed in that red haze like it was never going to let up on the tiny yet burgeoning fishing town of Tetala, the capital of the small island. Every morning was a slightly different, but no less relentless light storm of crimson. It was It was the reliability of my drinking an enormous glass of water first thing in the morning. Like the planet of Jistoa's violet-colored mana-filled sky cracked open like something had just lost its patience and flung an axe straight into the firmament, making it crack and shatter open, gushing like blood over the one salt-worn rooftop in particular. Each house near the eastern residential district looked like it had been cobbled together from whatever the Trecephas Sea felt like vomiting up in the last epoch or 12. Except for one, as the red light crisscrossed the alleyways as we arrive upon 3 family members and the noise of a particularly rowdy 4th member. The 2 on the porch and the 3rd were overshadowed by the shadow of the awning. The Sevendust family. The mother and father held each other closely in the doorway for a moment. Cyrus and Anna Sevendust slowly let go of the steeped apart, whispering the same thing they always did, in a tone so low it could barely travel farther than a few inches. A private conversation these 2 particular adults had a need to have some time and time again. Which isn't surprising, considering Cyrus's deadly line of work. Folks outside of Tetala, hell, Relamia, they called the place a quaint little island. Good for one visit, then never again. Bunch of folks with poles in the water and a massive taste for energy drinks. The truth of the matter is that that's propaganda flooding the televisions of those people of Arula and Majita, spewed forth by a nasty in-hand deal by the shady bastards at the tyrannical central government and the tourism industry. Those sickos decided a long time ago quaint was code for concrete beaten as thin as a 2x4 by centuries of intense storms, and some monster or another always crawling out of something. Steel and plastic that came from sources long since forgotten. Who the fuck cared? They really to ask anymore. Alright. Where'd chat go? Still no responses, but that's okay. And on every damn surface, scars worn like trophies of honor. It was like the town collected them on purpose. And the freakiest part of that statement is that they kinda did. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's okay. I just realized that pasting it into that made it sort of a mess. So, exported fresh, and go to my dashboard. Yeah, you're seeing this live. No. Hey, don't I have the ability to... Whatever. Yeah, I just noticed some last minute flaws. And save. And, yeah, hopefully nobody will be the wiser. At least until they watched me fix it in real time. Oh, man. Oh, there we go. Since that car hit me, my joints have been all out of whack. Anyway, to it. Cyrus and Anna Sevendust slowly let go and stepped apart, whispering the same things they always had in a tone so low it could barely travel farther than a few inches. A private conversation these two particular adults had a need to have time and time again, which wasn't surprising considering Cyrus's deadly line of work. Oh, I already covered that part. Well, it's live now. And this stream... I've made enough noise and my roommates are trying to sleep. I'll see how it works out in the